Well, good evening. It is great to be with you. I appreciate the invitation. I think I tried to warn Josh when he asked me about this that if he wanted to draw a crowd, he needed to get somebody else. And certainly if we would put the right times on, he said 6:30, I said 7. That's on me, my bad. But we will be okay starting at 7 o'clock, I'm sure. I want to welcome everybody. This is not something I've done before. Karen has never done this before, but we're really excited about it, and hopefully we'll learn some things together and be able to really make this good and enjoyable for everybody as best we can. I'll let Karen introduce herself to y'all at some point, but I will just go ahead and tell you guys about me. My name is Aaron Beard. Most of you know who I am. Some of you did not. We got to meet a few moments ago, but I've been preaching at the Trustful Church for 21 years. Before that, I was in Montgomery. And why this lesson matters to me is I grew up in a home where I was taught by my mom and dad to believe in God. Probably from the time I was a baby, there was a Bible in the bed with me, right? We didn't miss church. I mean, you could have chicken pox. Nobody gets that anymore, but when it's kids, we get chicken pox. You still went to church. Like, you always were at church no matter what. Graduated high school, did some college, decided I'd start preaching, moved to Montgomery. When I was down there, I began to struggle. Is there really a God? Is all this stuff that I've always been taught real? And I began to think, if what they taught me in school is right, then the Bible can't be true. How can the earth be millions of years old if the Bible's true? How can there have been dinosaurs if the Bible is true? We'll talk about them tomorrow, lots of dinosaurs. And I really struggled with my faith. And over time, I studied and read and dug into it, and my faith got stronger. Karen is a semi-retired school teacher, is that fair? She travels around for the state of Alabama teaching a lot of science classes. She is a legit teacher. She is educated. I am not. I will be your evidences for dummies. She will be a lot more informative than I will be. But I just wanted to introduce us and just let you know, hey, I'm glad we're here, and I hope we're able to do a lot of good together. I want to begin with a little video. I want to go ahead and tell you guys this is not church, not a worship service. You are welcome to speak up. You're welcome to ask questions. I may defer to Karen to answer all of them. But ask questions, okay? If you need me to repeat something, say, hey, can you go over that again? We'll talk about it some more. But I want to begin with the video. I thought this video was really good, and it kind of introduces what we're going to be talking about the next 2 days.
God saw that it was good. He spoke the universe into existence with unfathomable power and unmatched might. His mercy wipes away our failures. His grace lifts us when we fall, and his faithfulness never changes. Every sunrise, every breath, and every answered prayer is a reminder of his goodness and his unending love. There is no one like our God. He is mighty to save, rich in love, and worthy of all our praise. He is the God of peace, the God of hope, the God of love, and the only one worthy of our worship and adoration.
Our God is an awesome God. And I hope what we talk about tonight will help you see that God is awesome. That's the only thing I want you to take away. We're going to look at some reasons why in just a moment, but before we do, we're going to sing some songs, okay? Y'all don't want to listen to me talk the whole time, so we'll sing some songs. You can leave it out if it helps. I mean, it's nothing but pictures up there, okay? Do y'all know My God Is So Great? Y'all know that song? No? No? Yes? Okay. So, older people, great, strong, and mighty, right? Mountains are His, valleys are His, skies are His handiwork too, okay? I want us to sing together if we can, okay? My God is so great, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so great, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. The mountains are His, the valleys are His, the skies are His handiwork too. My God is so great, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do for you. All right, and you. Good. Okay, there's a verse in Isaiah that we're going to kind of use as our theme. Isaiah 40, verse 9, lift up your voice with a shout, lift it up, do not be afraid. Say, behold your God. Have you not known, have you not heard, the Lord is the everlasting God, the creator of the ends of the earth. He does not faint or grow weary. His understanding is unsearchable. So I want to ask you guys real quick, what are some things that God has made that you think are just awesome? What? The valleys? Have y'all ever stood up on a mountain and looked down at the valley? It's pretty impressive, isn't it? I love valleys. What? What's God made that's awesome? What? The sun. We're going to talk about the sun in a minute. Yeah? The what? The Arctic. Oh, wow. Okay. I wish I would have included the Arctic fish. There's a really cool fish in the Arctic. What you got? Food? I like food too, right? The fact that we can eat food, enjoy food. What if God made food have no flavor? But God made food taste good. What's your favorite thing to eat? Ice cream. I love it. Yeah. What's your favorite thing to eat? Ice cream? Any food. What's God made that's awesome? What you got? Animals? What's your favorite animal? Kangaroo? I want a pet wallaby. They are close, but see, a kangaroo might beat you up. They're pretty violent, but a wallaby I think I could take. Always got to have an animal you could take if you need to. What? DNA. Why is DNA awesome? Yeah. It's like genetic code, and it makes us what we are, and a little bitty tiny change makes a big difference, doesn't it? Right? Yeah, what you got? Science. So does science tell us that there is no God? No. Science supports that there is a God. Let's hear from some adults, some grown-ups, some older people. What has God made that you think is awesome? The what? The human heart? What's awesome about it? I'm going to put you on the spot. Okay. Elaborate. Right. Yeah. Yeah. There's been a lot of tragedy in the news over the last week and a half. I've dealt with some pretty horrific things myself this past week. And the fact that you can see in the midst of all of that, people loving each other, caring for each other, is just an awesome thing. Somebody had another thing? Colors? Yeah. He could have created a black and white world, right? But he made it have colors, right? So we're going to talk about some animals tonight that God has made. If you like animals, you're going to love what we're going to have, okay? We're going to talk about animals God has made, and we're going to see that God is awesome in making it. But before we do, what I want us to do is sing, Our God is an Awesome God. If you didn't know the last song, you probably know this one, okay? Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. Our God is an awesome God. Our God is an awesome God. There was something corrupt in that file. Okay, let's talk about some animals. What are these? They're owls, right? They're a real hoot, aren't they? Oh, thank you. Okay, good. These are baby owls. Baby owls are some of the cutest, most adorable little creatures that you could ever see. I love looking at baby owls. What do y'all think makes an owl special? I guess I need to look at my notes, don't I? What? Yeah. So the way that an owl flies is probably, to me, one of the coolest things about them. There's another thing that's really cool, too. What do they do? Their vision. What's special about their vision? Yeah. They can see stuff. I don't know how far exactly. Are you sure about a mile? Or are you just making that up? They can see from a really, really far way away. But they don't just see with their eyes. They see with their feet. How many of you can see with your feet? We'll get to it in just a minute. What's special about an owl? What you got? What you got? They can see in the dark. Yeah, their vision's good at night. Yeah, what you got? They're silent. They don't make any noise when they fly. I was riding my mountain bike on the trails at Trustful behind the sports complex, and it was starting to get dark, and I am booking it. I'm a big fat guy. You go downhill, you go really fast on a bike, and I'm flying. And this owl about wiped me out. I never saw him coming because he flies silently. So let's talk about the owl just a little bit. The owl's wings are what allows it to fly silently. They are designed by God with wings, and basically what happens is the leading edge of the wings have these feathers that are covered in these little small things that project out from the wing. They've got serrations. It's a big word, but they break up the flowing air into small flows that are more stable along the wing. So what happens is this owl is flying, and the wind goes and it hits the wings, and the way it hits the wings, it just reduces the noise. You'll never hear them coming. You'll never see an owl coming unless you're looking in that direction because you don't know he's there. If he's going to sneak up on a mouse or a rabbit or anything like that, he needs those wings to be just like that. There's a lot more about the owl, but its feathers are real velvety. If you've ever gotten to touch an owl's feathers, they're really soft. We've got a bird center up at Oak Mountain State Park. It's really cool to go in and look at what they do with the birds. Sometimes they have owls there that you can look at. Here's another really good picture of an owl. Now, a lot of birds have 4 toes. And most birds have 3 toes in the front and 1 toe in the back. But the owl can actually rotate that 3rd toe around behind it, giving it 2 in the front and 2 in the back. Why do you think it needs to do that? Why? Well, maybe, but what else? It can grab things, right? So if you got 2 in the front and 1 in the back and you're trying to grip onto something, you can grab it, but what if you got 4? You can grab it better, and that's the way the owl works. It's got a curved, pointed beak that it can rip its prey to shreds. What about its eyes? What color are his eyes? Yellow. And the yellow eyes are designed to help them see really, really good. But there's another thing about the owl that's really cool. Whoop, wrong animal. It can rotate its head. How far can you see behind you? Without turning your shoulders, how far can your head go? Try it. How far can it go? I can get right here. Kind of hurts because I'm old. I can get right here, right? I can get to my shoulder. Can anybody rotate their head all the way around backwards? No. You know what? You'll have teachers and you'll have parents that will tell you I got eyes in the back of my head. An owl almost can be that way. It can turn its head 270 degrees, almost all the way around backwards. Why do you think that matters? Yeah. So I like to hunt, and I'm sorry if y'all don't like hunters, but I love to hunt. And if you're sitting there in the woods and you're up in the tree stand and you know there's a deer behind you, and you kind of stand up a little bit and you turn around and you pull your gun up, what's that deer going to do? He's going to run away. The owl can turn his head around without moving his body and see what's behind him. Crazy thing. So I told you that the owl sees with his eyes and he sees with his what? Feet, right? So the owl has these really tiny feathers on the bottom of its feet. Problem with an owl is he can see really far away, but he can't see up close good. Any of y'all have that problem? You can see far away but not up close? Yeah? Sometimes as we get older, that happens. We can see things that are far away, but up close, our vision gets blurry. Same thing with an owl. So what he does is he can feel his prey with the bottom of his feet, and as he's flying down at a high rate of speed, he feels with the bottom of his feet, and it lets him see, in a sense, by feeling. Okay, what kind of animal is this? What? Speak. Woodpecker. So what does a woodpecker do all day? What? Tell me. It pecks wood, right? It bangs its head against a tree all day long. Now, sometimes a woodpecker will peck a hole in the side of your house. I had that happen. And put a little bitty hole inside of my house. I was like, that's not good. Sometimes a woodpecker will even peck on a concrete or metal pole. I've never understood that. What? What you got? That's okay. Yeah. Hold on to that and I'll let you tell me in just a second, okay? So woodpeckers fly around and they bang their head on things all the time. What do football players wear on their head? What? A helmet. Why do they put a helmet on their head? Yeah. That would hurt if you got hit in the head with a ball. Well, what else is your head going to hit? What? Other players. So in football, if two players hit head on head, they get what's called a concussion, right? Now, I'm not going to get into the technical parts of what a concussion is. You don't have to hit your head on something to get it, but you can shake your brain up and you can get a concussion, right? So football players have to be very careful, and they got these really nice helmets to keep them from getting concussions, right? If you walk over to this wall and you pound your head on this wall over and over and over again, you're going to get a concussion. Your head's going to hurt, right? But a woodpecker does it all day, and it never bothers him. So you have the answer why. His tongue is super long, and it wraps around his brain, providing a little bit of a cushion for his head, for his brain, so that even though he is hitting his head into the trees dozens of times a second, it doesn't hurt the woodpecker. Another thing that it has, anybody know what the second thing a woodpecker has is? What? His feet. What does his feet do? It's important. It can stand, and this woodpecker is standing on the side of a tree. Can you stand on the side of a tree? No. If you tried to stand on the side of a tree, you'd fall, and that wouldn't work out well for you, would it? Right? So that's important. What else does he have? Do you remember? Come on, Copernicus. His beak is two different lengths. So as he hits the tree, it absorbs the shock, and it keeps his brain from getting injured. And that's what a woodpecker's tongue looks like. Super long tongue wraps around his brain. Okay. Hard question. What animal is this? It is a giraffe. So, I'm not going to do this. But if I grabbed one of you by the feet and I held you upside down, what would happen? Should I do it to him? No. What would happen? You could if I dropped you, but I'm not going to drop you. What's going to happen if I hold you upside down? Yeah, have y'all ever hung on the monkey bars upside down before? And then your face starts to turn red, and then your head starts to hurt, and if you hang there long enough, you're going to black out, right? And technically, if you hang there long enough, you would actually die, right? Because all of your blood rushes to your brain. Okay, so what kind of problem might a giraffe run into? His neck is like super, super long. And if he bends over, all of his blood is going to rush to his what? Brain. In order to get his blood, let's see if this works, from his heart, I'm going to guess it's somewhere in this vicinity. Am I right? Somewhere in here. That's where I would shoot if I was hunting him. Kind of morbid. He's got to have a heart that's really big. I'm not going to bore you with how big it is, but it's really, really big, a lot bigger than our heart would be, to pump all of the blood up into his head. If he bends over to drink water, all his blood then is going to rush to his head and he would die. Except the giraffe actually has little valves in its neck that keeps the blood from rushing to his head. What you got? Mm-hmm. They do spread their legs out really wide, which helps them too, doesn't it? You've watched giraffes before. So giraffes are really cool. I love giraffes because they make the funniest faces, right? I mean, you can't help but to love giraffes when you see their pictures. So giraffes are really cool. So here's the thing. Evolution would tell you that giraffes evolved over millions of years. Little bitty changes over millions of years resulted in the giraffe. The problem is the giraffe actually has parts of his body that if they weren't the way that they are, the giraffe would die. He could not have evolved the way he is. I'm going to give you a quote. It's a long quote, but listen, because some of you will benefit from this. It says, the OG giraffe, I'm using a different word, had not only to lengthen its neck vertebrae, but to make any concurrent modifications, any changes at the same time. The head, difficult to sustain on top of the neck, became relatively smaller. You notice his head is much smaller than the rest of his body, so it needed that or it would be too heavy. It needed big lungs to compensate for breathing through a tube that's 10 feet long. Like, how does he get his oxygen up there or from up there? It needed muscles and tendons and bones that had to change all at the same time. Its front legs had to be lengthened with its body. And a lot of other things had to happen. And evolution's like, yeah, that happened over millions of years, but it just doesn't make sense. Okay, not Elijah. Who knows what this is? This might be my son's favorite animal. What you got? Okay, it is similar to a crawdad. If you find a crawdad that's colored like this in a creek around here, you found something special, though. And I'd be careful with them. What is it? It's a what?
Rainbow mantis.
Okay, rainbow mantis shrimp. I've heard some people call it a what, Elijah? Peacock mantis shrimp. There's probably different breeds of mantis shrimp. We're going to just call it a mantis shrimp. You're right. It's a mantis shrimp. I might actually have different kinds of mantis shrimps in the picture. So, Elijah, since you love this animal so much, what is so special about a mantis shrimp? So a mantis shrimp is able to punch 50 miles an hour. Your parents driving down the highway out here probably drive somewhere around 50 miles an hour. Some a little faster, some a little slower, right? That's how hard this mantis shrimp hits. Why can't you put a mantis shrimp in a fish tank? It's made of glass. The mantis shrimp would punch the glass would shatter, and you'd wake up the next morning and have a mantis shrimp crawling around in your living room floor. Wouldn't be good, would it? Right? So this mantis shrimp is able to punch super, super fast. How many of y'all have ever shot a gun? Anybody? Yeah? 22 caliber bullets, super fast. The mantis shrimp is able to punch with the acceleration of a 22 caliber bullet. How many of you have ever thrown a baseball? Can you throw a baseball into space? Holly, they can come up here. It's cool. Malachi, Amy, you want to come hang out up here? Everybody? Good. Can you throw a baseball into outer space? No. But if you could punch as hard as a mantis shrimp could, you could throw a baseball into outer space. In fact, the mantis shrimp punches so hard, the water begins to boil. Now, this isn't me making this up. They say that the water becomes, in the immediate area, as hot as the surface of the sun. Now, that doesn't make sense to me, but I got that out of a science journal. I ain't smart enough to know those things. That's what they say. 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. And I've got the reference for that if anybody wants to doubt me. The shock wave, you punch something, just the force. The shock wave alone often kills its prey. Now, what's also special about him, Elijah? Oh, you can go. Go ahead. They would, yes, that would be correct. What else? Not tendons. If you're going in the direction I'm thinking you're going, I'm not sure. So the club itself that they punch with is made of material that's really, really special. It's called chitin, and I may be mispronouncing, C-H-I-T-I-N. So it's made out of this material that's just perfect, and it's got these hexagon shapes that overlap each other in such a way that this mantis shrimp is able to punch things, and it does not hurt the club. It can keep punching over and over and over again. Mantis shrimp is so good that scientists are studying, saying, hey, can we use that, right? Can we recreate cars made out of that, planes made out of that? Because it's super tough and super lightweight. Okay, let's talk about Earth a little bit. Somebody said something about it earlier, I think. Earth, where we live right now, our planet. What makes Earth special? Go ahead. Okay, God makes Earth alive. What? Yeah. Yeah. If you move the earth much at all, we either get super, super hot and we all do what? Die. Every answer, every question I'm going to ask going to be the same on this. Or it gets super, super cold and we would all die. Okay? So the earth is, people call it the Goldilocks principle, the Goldilocks position. Y'all remember the story Goldilocks? Not too hot, not too cold. The soup was just right. That's the way earth is. Everything is just right. What you got? Okay, yeah, we've been able to populate the earth and build cities and states because of the way it's made. Let's go over a couple of things real quick, and y'all probably have some thoughts on this. I want to give you a quote. I think I've got it up here. Yeah. Y'all may not know who this is. Confined to a wheelchair. He died a while back. I don't remember how many years ago it was now, but one of the leading evolutionists. Who knows what an evolutionist is? Who can tell me? What? Somebody believes in evolution. Good. What? Yeah, they believe that basically what happened was it just happened, okay? There's different explanations, but you hear the Big Bang Theory, that there was some matter that was floating around in space and one day exploded, and the suns, the moon, the stars all got created from it. There was a little bit of ooze somewhere that began to develop and become a bacteria, and bacteria became a lizard. I'm fast forwarding. A lizard becomes a monkey, and a monkey becomes you. So evolutionists tell you there is no God. There is no God. They would tell you that God did not create the heavens and the earth in how many days? 6 days. Seventh day he rested. So they would tell you God didn't make any of that. Now listen to Stephen Hawking. He said, we are such insignificant creatures. What does that word mean, insignificant? Minor. You don't matter. Stephen Hawking is telling you that we don't matter. We are insignificant creatures on a minor planet of a very average star. He's telling you there's nothing special about you. The reason I'm saying that this stuff is designed, God has a plan. And you matter. You matter to God. Your life matters. Your soul matters. Our existence matters. Let's talk about some things from here. Gravity. Okay, now we're going to play. Malachi, come here. Come here. Come here. You are in cowboy boots. This is going to be really fun. Show me how high you can jump. Go ahead. Dude, you got my genes. I'm so sorry. You want to try again? See if you can get higher? Go. He's in cowboy boots. It's hard. There you go. That's better. Okay, so Malachi got about this far off the ground. Who can beat it? Who can get higher? Go ahead. Let's see you. You can do it right there. Show me. Okay, it's pretty similar. Come on. Show me. Okay, awesome. We'll stop there. Okay? I can't have everybody jump. Why are y'all not able to jump higher than that? Other than the fact that, well, genetics. Why? Gravity. So what is gravity? Let's do this. We'll go here. Box of tissues. What's going to happen if I let go of it? It'd be really cool if I had something in this I could make it go up instead of down. It'd be awesome. I drop this, what's going to happen? It'll fall to the ground. Why does it fall to the ground? Gravity. So gravity is a force. You cannot see it. Some of us feel like we can feel it because we carry a little extra weight around with us. We kind of feel like we're weighed down. You don't really feel it, but it's there, right? It's why if you go to bounce a basketball, it'll bounce this high, and the next time it bounces, what's going to happen? Down here, and down here, and down here, and eventually it sits on the ground, right? So what would happen? Gravity is 10 to the negative 43rd, okay? I'm not going to write all those numbers out. That's a lot of zeros. What happens if we change gravity and make it just the tiniest fraction of a fraction stronger? What would happen if it was a little stronger? You wouldn't be able to walk. You'd actually get crushed. Like the only thing that would ever survive is a cockroach if you made it any harder. What if we made it just the tiniest fraction of a fraction bit lighter? What would happen? You would jump. You jump really high and you would never come back down. You just go shoop, and you'd be bye. You'd be gone, right? We'd be floating around in here, right? So we need gravity to be what it is. If you change gravity and make it just a little stronger or a little weaker, we all die. Good, y'all got the idea. This is an awesome class. Now, I need gravity. What is the atmosphere? This is getting a little bit ahead of where some of y'all are at in school, but what is the atmosphere? What's the atmosphere made of? Some of you get this after you eat Taco Bell, not to be gross. It's made of gas, okay? Now, different gas than what you get when you eat Taco Bell. I'll bore you a second. It is nitrogen, 78%, oxygen, 21%, argon, less than 1%, carbon dioxide, you don't want to breathe a lot of that in all at one time, 0.03%. What would happen, do you think, if we made oxygen just a little bit more than that? We would combust. We would burst into flames. Things would explode. And if everything started exploding, we would all... Good, we got it. Now, CO2. Let's say we made CO2 a little less strong. What breathes CO2, carbon dioxide? What plants? We got this really cool system going, and evolutionists say it's just accident. You breathe out what? Air. What's in the air that you breathe out? Carbon dioxide. What does the plant need to breathe? Carbon dioxide. And what does the plant produce? Which you need to breathe in. It's funny. Evolutionists would say that was just an accident. Like a coincidence that just happened. Just random chance. But it's designed that way. If you made CO2 a little bit less, all of the plants would die. If you made it a little bit more, all of us would die. We need this. It also keeps the earth the right temperature. If the earth gets too hot, what are we going to do? We all die. If the earth gets too cold, what are we going to do? Ice Age. Not as fun as the movie made it look, right? So, we need the atmosphere. Here's another one. The earth's tilt. Okay? Do y'all know that y'all are standing like this right now? We're all, you're sitting, but we're standing like this. right? Now, you don't feel it. We're not going to get into why, but the earth sits at a 23.5 degree tilt. What does that produce for us? Anybody know? Seasons. We have summer, fall. What else we have? Winter, spring. We need our seasons. And Halloween, it's coming up. I'm excited about that too, buddy. I love Halloween. I dress up as a gorilla, and I go to their school, and I throw bananas at the teachers. It's so much fun. I ride around in my Jeep in a gorilla suit. It's awesome. I love Halloween. Okay. Our weather would get so extreme if you changed that the slightest amount. Weather would get wild and crazy, and we would all die. Okay. This one will be a little bit easier to imagine. The sun, right? Now, we had some really cool days. They were really nice outside, fun to go out and play, but the next few days it's going to get warmer again, right? And you go outside and you feel the heat. Anybody know what's special about the sun? How big's the sun? This big? No. This big? 864,059 miles in diameter. It is huge. Stars in our solar system produce different kinds of light. Did you know that the sun produces the right kind of light, the right kind of red and blue for us to live? If you change the kind of light the sun produces, we would all... Good, perfect, we got it. Good. Y'all are so smart. What if the sun was a lot bigger? What would happen? We'd die. And gravity would become a really big problem for us too, right? The forces that are there. Its orbit is circular. Because its orbit is circular, we stay in a safe zone, right? Not too hot, not too cold. Our seasons are right. Everything's just perfect for life to exist, right? What about the sun? We have the moon. Why does the moon matter? I mean, it's just this big gray ball in the sky. It doesn't really produce heat for us.
So when it's night, it will be light, but so it won't be at night.
Yeah.
So if it's night, it has to be dark.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if it's nighttime, you can't.
Yeah, and you said when you first started talking there, like that we need the moon because it's dark out, means it's dark outside and we can go to sleep. Unless you live in Alaska, they get really weird days where the sun never sets or it never comes up. A whole nother story. But you got this big rock in the sky, and it doesn't produce light, it reflects light, right? But when you go outside at night, you can kind of see around a little bit because we have the moon. What you got? What's special about it? Important. Yeah. Why would tides matter? There's a lot of reasons. But anybody have any idea what a tide might do for us? The what? Well, sometimes hurricanes come and tides, they can be bad, but what could be good about a tide? It does raise water, and it kind of helps the ocean and the beaches clean each other. And it helps provide food for the animals. And yeah, so we need our tides. The tides do other things, but it helps keep our tides good. They clean the ocean. The tides also help our temperatures stay stable. Again, if our temperatures go out of whack, what happens to us? We all... Good. So we need our tides. The moon orbits the Earth 240,000 miles away. It orbits the Earth so perfectly that even before cell phones were created, people could look up at the moon and they could say, okay, I know what season it is. I know what time of day it is. I know I can make a calendar based on the moon. It's just the right size for life on Earth. It also protects us. It gets beat up a little bit. We've also got a planet around us that protects us, which is good. Okay, we're going to sing a song. Do y'all know this song? What a mighty God we serve. Yes? Good. Because my kids did not remember it. And we're going to sing it twice. Think about all the things God has made. Think about the fact that our God is mighty. We're going to wrap up a little early or late, depending on whether you thought we started at 6:30 or 7:30, okay? But we're going to sing this song, and I want you to think as you're singing, think about the mighty things God has made, okay? What a mighty God we serve. What a mighty God we serve. Angels bow before him, heaven and earth adore him. What a mighty God we serve. What a mighty God we serve. What a mighty God we serve. Angels bow before him, heaven and earth adore him. What a mighty God we serve. Okay, let's talk a little bit about God's designed this, right? It looks designed for a reason. And I want to talk about what that design means for you, okay? This is the application. This is the so what behind the lesson. There is a field of study. If I could go back to school and study anything, this would be it, okay? I actually need to live like 6 lives because I got a lot of things I want to do and I can't do them all. Biomimicry. What is biomimicry? You can't answer. Have y'all ever heard of biomimicry? It is super cool if you like animals and plants, okay? I will show you what biomimicry is. Y'all follow along. Simon says touch your nose. Simon says pat your head. Simon says flex your muscles. Okay? Simon says stick out your tongue. Y'all look silly. Now, what were y'all doing? You were copying me, mimicking me. You had to do what I did because I said Simon says, right? Biomimicry simply means we copy nature. So, talk about a couple of examples here. See what we got. Now, they studied termite mounds in Africa. Y'all ever see termites? Doesn't somebody here have a termite pest control business? Who is that? Am I wrong about that? Didn't somebody have one? Used to. Ricky. Is he here? No, okay. So, sorry if that caused a problem. You're here for him, good. Niece, okay. So, termites, I don't want to say they're bad, but what happens if a termite gets into your home? What? It'll chew your wood, it'll destroy your whole house, right? So we don't want termites in our house. But what scientists did is they began looking at termite mounds, and they realized that air would flow through a termite mound, and the inside of a termite mound would stay cool, even in places like Africa, okay? Zimbabwe, to be exact. So they built this big center, the Eastgate Center. And what they did is they copied the termite mound and how they constructed the building, and they were able to cool the building using only 10% of the amount of energy. Now, this doesn't matter to y'all, but during the summer, our power bills are through the roof. They're super expensive. Like, I get angry when I see my power bill because I like to stay cool. If I could reduce my power bill to 10% of what it was, and you're telling me my power bill would only be $45, I would do a little dance. I'd be happy, right? They copied nature and they figured that out. Okay, so what is this? What is this person doing? They're swimming. So, scientists studied sharks, and they started watching the way the shark's skin was designed. And it's got these little tiny flexible teeth-like projections on its skin. And it creates what's called a low pressure zone, and it essentially helps propel the shark forward in the water the way its skin is designed. So scientists began studying and said, I bet we could make a swimsuit designed after the shark skin and help people to swim faster, and it worked so bad that they started working on banning the swimsuits in competition. Pretty crazy. Okay? What are we looking at here? Whales and fish. But what are the things that man made? This, and this. What are these three things? They're what? Windmills. Okay, so scientists began studying windmills, and they looked at two different animals. This one down here on the bottom left is a whale. Now, this is crazy to me. Who would look at this big old massive creature swimming in the ocean being like, I bet we could make a windmill better by copying a whale? Like, who does that? I get a bird, but they copied a whale to make a better windmill. But it worked. It made it more efficient. And the way schools of fish would swim in the water, they just began studying and noticing that the way these animals moved made them more efficient, made them work better, and they copied it, and they increased their efficiency over 10 times. Okay. How many of you like to get shots at the doctor? Do we like vaccines? Do we like shots? They kind of hurt, don't they? Okay. How many of us like to get bit by mosquitoes? No. It's not the mosquito bite that always hurts you. Have you ever been bit by a mosquito and you didn't know it? You never felt it, and then your arm starts itching, and then you notice there's a bump there. And if you're like me, the bump's like the size of a basketball. Like they swell up on me big. And you're like, when did I get bit by a mosquito? So scientists began studying mosquitoes, and they said, I wonder if we copied the needle that the mosquito has and made our vaccines less painful for people. They did it, they tried it, and it worked. They were able to make it go in almost painlessly. Okay, what kind of animal is this? Okay, it's not Sally, because Sally is a horse. This is Sally the camel, right? So, a lot we could say about a camel. I'm not talking about him tonight, but the camel has got this really great ability to stay cool in the worst heat. The way its skin is designed is able to retain the sweat in such a way that it stays cool, even in the hottest temperatures. What do we got? Y'all's arms have been up forever. I'm sorry. They can go a long time, 2 weeks. I'm not going to question you on that. You knew exactly what you were talking about. Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's just the way it's designed, too. Yeah. Yeah. So camels have a lot of things. Its hump is not water. Its hump is food. They've got windshield wipers on their eyes that keep sand out. Their feet are designed so they can walk on sand without sinking. And if you ever watch the way a camel walks, it's kind of really weird, right? It's like 2 legs and then 2 legs instead of what you would normally expect. All of that is the way these camels are designed. But scientists began noticing that camels, the way they're designed, they can lose 25% of their body weight in sweating. Do y'all know what would happen if y'all lost 25% of your body weight sweating? We would all die. But a camel's able to do it. In fact, if you only lose 3 to 4%, you would die. So scientists began studying the camels, and they said, hey, look at this camel. Look at the way the camel's able to sweat, and they're able to stay cool and all of this. And they designed sweatsuits that were more efficient at keeping people cool using a cooling gel that would last for 40 hours. Pretty impressive, right? Okay, so what does all this mean? Where there is design, there must be a designer. Isaiah 42:5, thus says the Lord God, who created the heavens and the earth, stretched them out, who spread out the earth and what comes from it, who gives breath to the people on it and spirit to those who walk in it. Evolutionists would tell you that there is design all around you simply because it looks like there's design. If that makes no sense to you, it doesn't make sense to me either, right? There is design because someone designed it. Now, I brought a little show and tell. I've had this thing for 30-something years, and I don't know where his hands went, but my pawpaw made this, okay? My pawpaw only had one arm, so when I lost the first arm, I said, hey, that's pretty cool. We'll just leave that arm off, and then the other hand broke. But my pawpaw made this way back in the Stone Age, probably in about 1988, okay? And I loved this thing. His name is Ho-Hum. Okay? So, looking at Ho-Hum, you think it just happened? Or somebody made it? Somebody made it. What do you think the person who made this was like? Nice because he made it as a gift? Yeah? Nice most of the time. He was funny. Does this guy not look silly to you? Looks a little crazy. So whoever made this had a really weird sense of humor, right? And he made strange things. If you went into my pawpaw's basement, you would find all kinds of creatures like this that he made out of wood. He just did it to do it. This is Ho-Hum. Ho-Hum would tell you that my pawpaw was a little bit of a crazy man, had a crazy sense of humor. He liked things that looked silly, right? That's my pawpaw. Now, we look at nature around us. It is not Pinocchio, but I can understand where that would come from. He's Ho-Hum. Did I name him or did Pawpaw name him? Who named him? Okay, I don't. I was trying to remember who gave him the name Ho-Hum. Was it me? Okay, makes sense. It's not Pinocchio. He said he just made it up in his head, but I can see why you would think that. Okay, so we look around us and we see design because somebody made it. Not only do we know that somebody made it, but the things that God made tells us about God. God made things and God made things on purpose. So what would God's awesome creation tell you God is like? If you look at the plants and the birds and the trees and the sun and moon and stars and everything that's around us, what does that tell you God is like? What? God is good. He made things that are good. After everyday creation, God, what did God say? It is what? It is good or very good. What else do we learn about God from all this? What? He's very creative, right? Are any of you creative people? Elijah's creative. He likes to draw and things. Y'all, you like to draw? God's creative. He could have made everything square blocks. It could have been Minecraft 24/7. Yeah. He's got a sense of humor. Can y'all think of an animal that's really crazy? What? Turkey vultures. They clean their legs by using the bathroom on themselves. That's weird. What else is a creature God's made that's funny? What? Blobfish, that's where I was going to go. Blobfish are wild. Archer fish is another one that's crazy. What you got? What's a crazy looking animal? Think some more. I'll come back to you. What you got? Axolotls are funny. What you got? A rockfish and an eel. I had a pet eel for a long time. I could hand feed him. It was super cool. What you got? A walrus is pretty funny. Hippos, right along the same line, right? Duck-billed platypus. Like, we got some pretty funny looking things. God has a sense of humor. I don't think that's wrong for us to say. How about God is wise? We talked about several things God has made and how it works perfect. God is wise. God is powerful, right? And God loves us. And I think we need to remember that when we look at the creation. He did not need to make creation for himself. He made creation for us to enjoy. He loves you, right? So our God is an awesome God. I think I can advance it. Our God is an awesome God. The plants, the animals, the mountains, the seas, the stars. Look at yourself, right? Say, ow. What if he couldn't feel that? That's my son, I can do that. What if he didn't feel that? The fact that you feel pain, it hurts, but it keeps you safe, right? What happens if you touch a hot stove? You'll only do it once, right? It'll burn and it'll hurt and you'll pull your hand away. What happens if you can't feel the stove? You just keep your hand there and your hand will burn off, right? God's an awesome God. Even the way he made you, the fact that you can see, the fact that you can walk and jump and play and have fun and have relationships with people. So our God is awesome and we can trust God. God knows best. So I want to leave you with this thought. We'll end here. Maybe. Okay. God designed all this. I look at the mountains and the seas. I look at the trees, the forests. Go outside and turn over a rock, but make sure you turn it towards you. Why? Protect you from snakes, right? But pick up a rock, a log, roll it towards you and look down and watch all of those critters run around and move around. If it's a rattlesnake, jump back. But yeah, look at your world. Look at the sun, the moon, and the stars. Think about the fact that if you jump, you don't float away into outer space. That's a great blessing because we would all die. God designed it. Thing is, God made you, and God designed you. Ephesians 1, he chose us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and blameless before him. He predestined us for adoption. There's what, at least 3 kids here that are in the family because they were adopted? That is special, isn't it? God says, I love you. I've got a plan for you. Yes, sir. It would burn your eyes, right? That would hurt. It's bright, just the right brightness. So God has a plan for all these animals. God has a plan for you. You don't need to go through life wondering, why am I here? Why does my life matter? right? I talk to people every week whose lives are completely broken and shattered. And so many of them, they don't know what their life is supposed to be about. We use the phrase spiraling out of control. They're just going whichever way the wind blows. They don't have any clue. And it's sad. But I love being able to look at people and say, there is a plan for you. And there's a plan for your life because God's a designer, right? He's a designer. Okay? Josh, I'm done. I drug it out longer than I meant to, but I'm done.